Sree Maathre namaha. Shri Kanto Matlo Janni Sarvamangala Jankaha Shankaro Mahadevaha Tvam Vande Gajananam. Vimalapati Kamalaputi Pustakrud Rakshasa Sastapati Kamakshi Pakshmarakshi Kalita Vipanchi Vibasi Vairinchi. Manojavam Martulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanruti Mukyam Shri Ramadutam Sirsanamami. Apadam Apartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Loka Viramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. शिवशक्त्यायुक्तो यदि भवति शक्तप्रभृतं न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलस्पन्दितुमिपतस्त्वामाराध्यां हरिहरविरिञ्चादिभिर्भि प्रणन्तुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृतपुण्यः भवति पूर्वे सर्वलोकानां विश्ले भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः शिवाय गुरुवे नमः शिवाय गुरुवे नमः शिवाय गुरुवे नमः. Celebrating the Navaratris now that are leading to Sri Ramanavami, today we will make a brief attempt to understand the very powerful Durga Sapta Sathi and the rakshasas that come in there, how the Durga Sapta Sathi is connected to our own lives, and how we need to take the essence of Durga Sapta Sathi in our day-to-day life. If we start looking at Durga Sapta Sathi, Durga, Durgati Harini iti Durgaha, the one who removes all the Durgatis, is the mother who is named Durga. Sapta, 7, Sati is 100. We keep talking about Saptaham, those Sai Baba Saptaham, Guru Saptaham, Sundarakanda Parayanam, which chant and try to finish Bhagavata Saptaham. The reason we have to finish the Saptaham is not because it has to be finished in 7 calendar days. There is no 8th calendar day. There is nobody who is born on the 8th day, or there is nobody who can die on the 8th day, which means we have to keep referencing and repeating these Saptasati or Saptahams because they will become the exemplary examples or exemplary principles that will continue to shine light on how we need to live, how we need to continue seek inspiration from the divine feet of our divine parents. If we were to look at Durga Saptasati, the first Rakshasas that are mentioned are Madhu and Kaitaba. Madhu means honey or sweet. Kaitaba means bitter and sourness. If you were to look at our lives as we are living through, we tend to appreciate anyone who praises us or appreciates us in a positive and a good way. And we tend to feel bitter and sour towards those people who are harsh critics and who continue to say things that are not very pleasant to our ears. Now, this mellifluous things that sound pleasant to our ears are considered the Madhu, and things that are not very pleasant to our ears and they continue to attack our personal character or the efforts that we are continuing to put are typically listed as Kaitaba. The Madhu and Kaitaba are killed by Stitikara, Srihari or Mahavishnu, and therefore in Durga Saptasati you will first see Mahavishnu killing in Madhu and Kaitaba, which essentially means as we continue to sustain in our life, continue to be alive, the good and bad, the appreciation and the criticism constantly keep coming at us. And we need to have the Lord of Sustenance, Vishnu, take over us in killing this appreciation and criticism in order to ensure that we continue to stay as balanced as possible without getting positively influenced when somebody says a praise and getting negatively influenced, getting disappointed, dejected, depressed when somebody says something negative at us. Both should be offered at the feet of the divine, saying Sarvam Sri Umameshwar Parabrahmar Pramastu. If I have done something good, that's because of the divine parents' influence. If I have done something out of my own knowledge, or knowingly or unknowingly, that has hurt the other person and they are critiquing me for that, may I be forgiven for hurting them and therefore move on by offering, our prayers for forgiving our efforts that probably would have hurt them or where they misunderstood us. That's the first importance of Madhu and Kaitaba. If we move on, Durga Saptasati, next comes Mahishasura. Mahisha essentially is the Rakshasa, Mahisha Asura, who is a representation of our anger and lust. Whenever the desires are not fulfilled, The brother or sister of the desires not being fulfilled is Kama. Kama's brother or sister is Krodha, anger. Therefore, Devi comes to kill Mahishasura, to slay. And the next level of evolution and spiritual progress with the Shakti. Therefore, Mother has to come in the form of Shakti, because anger and lust are both are manifestations of excessive energy in us. And therefore, the energy, the goddess of energy, Shakti, has to control the anger and lust. Therefore, Mother kills Mahishasura. Then the third one is Dhumralochana. As we are looking, we are taking the visual input from the cosmos, from the world, from the nature, through our physical eyes. We continue to be judged. Appearances are deceptive. We continue to make decisions on the superficial things, and often miss the internal meaning, the actual meaning, the truth of what is, what are the facts beyond the appearances, and what are the facts and the truths, and how appearances can be deceptive, is something that we continue to experience. Dhumralochana is one who continues to visually confuse us. All that glitters is not gold. Similarly, this Dhumralochana essentially clouds our internal and external vision, therefore confusing us with whatever looks beautiful need not be safe. For example, a cobra looks spectacularly beautiful, especially at the sunset. If you see a cobra on the east side facing the west, where the sun is about to set and the rays are coming and hitting the hood, it appears beautiful. A cheetah, a lion, a lioness would appear beautiful from a distance, but if you approach just because they are looking beautiful, that probably would be the last time you are approaching them. Now, the poison of the cobra might kill you, the lion might attack you, the lioness might kill you, the cheetah might actually tear you apart. Therefore, not everything that is beautiful is always safe for us. So, Dhumralochana is the third Rakshasa. That mother basically cleanses our external eyes to look into the good of everyone rather than trying to judge them. Like Lord Rama looked at everyone, including Ravanasura, and said, here is the good in him that we need to learn, Lakshmana. And that's what happens when Dhumralochana is controlled. The next Rakshas after Mahishasura, Dhumralochana, is Chanda and Munda. Chanda is essentially ferocious energy. Whenever we are moving with any extreme emotion, whether it is anger, whether it is, infatuation, anything that is coming up intensely, violence, we continue to lose our rational thinking. Therefore, whenever there is violence, whenever there is intensity of a desire or a thought that comes in, our rational mind that continues to give us the logical ability to decide on what is good, what is bad, what should be done, what should not be, we tend to lose. This Chanda is the internal tsunami of emotions that continue to lose our rational part of the brain. Therefore, whenever Chanda comes, Munda essentially loses, or we lose our head. Therefore, becoming absolutely stupid and saying things that we don't mean and doing things we never meant to do. So the next thing after Dhumralochana, the confusion of the world that is reduced by cleansing our internal vision of the third eye, Chanda and Munda are controlled and slayed by Mother, essentially bringing in an element of calmness, an element of clarity, an element of absolute peaceful decision making to us. That's what Mother does when she kills Chanda and Munda. Then comes the ferocious Raktabija. Raktabija's boon was, for every drop of his blood that spills on the ground, there will be 100 other Raktabijas that would come. Therefore, Mother Goddess Kali, in the form of time, comes and extends her tongue so much, where every time Raktabija is being slayed, all the drops are being sucked by her tongue, and therefore no drop of blood was touching the ground. So this essentially means this Raktabija is none other than the multi-headed Hydra of desires that we have. As one desire gets fulfilled, the other desire, Genesis starts coming in, many other desires are born, and these desires are represented by Raktabija. And when we remember that our time on this planet in this body is limited, because we have a manufacturing date, therefore we will have an expiry date. And when we start remembering our mortal dimension and limited time that we have, Mother in the form of Kali, the keeper of time, continues to reduce our desires before she completely annihilates the desires that will continue to erode and make us weak. She will instill us with these sat desires, the good desires that will continue to lead us to the feet of our divine parents. This is essentially the Rakta Bija. The next one is Shumbha Nishumbha. This Shumbha Nishumbha essentially are trying to bring in the Dvaitam in us, the duality, saying this is good, that is bad. He is beautiful, he is handsome, she is pretty, right? And trying to continuously confuse us with whatever has been slayed. First Madhu and Kaitaba. After all these stages, again Shumba and Nishumba come back saying, oh, here is a friend of mine, a relative of mine, a devotee of the divine who are saying good things to me. Therefore, I should appreciate them and I should befriend them. And here is another person who is not liking what I'm saying and probably posting a comment that is not very encouraging. Therefore, I should probably ignore them, block them, trying to have this state of duality, which we discussed with Madhu and Kaitaba. And then she revisits this Shakti. Mother checks whether we are progressing through or not. Mahisha comes in the form of desire and lust and anger, essentially to say, this is a limited time of life you have. Why should you sacrifice these? Therefore, enjoy these desires. And if those desires are not being fulfilled, one starts moving with anger, which will also become a slippery slope. We also say naiti to it and move on. Then we will come to Dhumra Lochana. Dhumra Lochana is the one who continues to show us to ourselves, saying, I'm a great devotee, I'm putting in efforts, therefore I'm making a significant progress. Now starts confusing motion with progress of our own spiritual efforts that we are continuing to put in, saying, I'm able to do many of these things, therefore I'm progressing. No, it is her mercy, the Divine Mother's mercy, that you are able to speak, function, live healthily, and go about doing everything because of her apara karuna, as we say in Lalita Sahasranam. So Dhumra Lochana also needs to be cleansed, for the internal vision where a devotee does not get the ego of devotion. The Aham saying, I'm so blessed, I'm praying. It's you are definitely blessed, you continue to pray, but if you're able to pray every day without breaking the chain, and if you're able to speak and do those stotras that are given by Jagat Guru, Adi Shankaracharya and others, if you are able to follow the mantra, yantra, tantra, or Lata Sahasranam, that's because she and she alone is allowing us to function as Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and therefore Kriya Shakti. First she is born as a desire in us, therefore, and then that desire continues to attract the knowledge of how to do it in the form of Jnana Shakti. And once you understand how to do it, you are executing it, therefore bringing the Kriya Shakti. And this is what happens by cleansing the Dhumra Lochana. After Dhumralochana comes the Raktapija, where mother reminds the mortal dimension of ours and therefore removes all the unwanted desires that continue to distract us and continues to encourage us with the sattvic desires of wanting to go to a divine place, a divine being, a great guru, or places of worship and places of peace. And these sattvic karmas, sattvic desires start coming in. And then finally, after Raktapija, Shumba Nishumba, she will control what is good, what is bad, and you will offer yourself as a device in the divine hands of the mother and father. That's when your body starts turning into Suradha. Your and my body is nothing but the Radha. In Bhagavad Gita, if you see Paramatma, Sri Krishna is actually charioting Arjuna in the chariot with the 6 horses. The 6 horses are nothing but Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsarya, Lobha, Moha, which continue to drag our body. The chariot is the body. In that chariot, there is inner voice of ours, which is the Arjuna, the warrior, and there's a monkey in the top, which is what, when it's transformed, becomes Lord Hanuman, like the Hanuman on the flag of the chariot, which was being charioted by Sri Krishna, in which Arjuna, the warrior, was. The moment we surrender the Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsarya, Lobha, Mohas to the Paramatma in us, saying, I am not able to control any of these. You and you alone, O Paramatma, take the charge of my body. Our body, the Radha, will start turning into Suradha. And when that transformation happens, whatever work we do in Saundarlahari, we discuss one slokam, Japo Jalpas Jalpam Sakalamapi Mudra Virchana. When that level of state comes, no matter what we say, that becomes japam. No matter the word we speak becomes the mantra. No matter where we are going around becomes pradakshina, because we start seeing mother and divine father in every being, and we start seeing them in the whole cosmos and universe, not just in your prayer room or my prayer room or the temples, but Ishanam Sarvavidyanam Ishwaram Sarvabhutanam, in every being of existence. We see their divine functioning, therefore bringing the Shivatvam in those beings, whether they are plants. Namo Vrikshebhyo Harikeshebhyo, we say in the Rudranam Kachamkam, the greenness, the photophil, the photosynthesis in the plants is happening because of the green leaves that are there in the plants. And the sunlight is you, the greenness in the plants is you, the plants are you, which are clearing the atmosphere and environment by absorbing the carbon dioxide and putting out the oxygen, which becomes pranavayu for me. This is a brief attempt at understanding the Durga Sapta Sathi. And when we are reading Durga Sapta Sati as mother is killing all these rakshasas, these different asura tattvas that are there in us because of the Purva Janma Vasanas will be slayed. So the next time you chant, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matru Rupena Samstha Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha, remember how all these durgunas that are there in us in different capacities and magnitudes because of our purvajanma vasanas and the prarabdha sanchita karmas that we have been doing, and the association and the friendships that we have with people, how she continues to sever them, reduces them before she minimizes, eliminates it in order to help us. The divine in us continues to guide us and brings face to face to our divine parents. This is a brief offering at the lotus feet of Mother. With that, we'll say the Mangalam Guru Shri Chandramaulishwarage Shakti Ganapati Sharadambige Shankaracharyanige Kala Bhairavage Kali Durgige Veera Dheera Sura Hanuma Maruti Charanage. Mangalam Guru Shri Sree Maathre namaha, and stay blessed.